Who is the greatest drummer of all time? I got a $100 bet going. Only Lars knows the answer.
It's fucking hard. I've been asked that question for 40 years. It's
John Bonham, the great drummer, possibly the greatest drummer that ever lived. I mean, who's better than John Bonham? This is the 40th anniversary of his death. When the levee breaks, that drum riff, it's one of the most sampled drum beats ever recorded. Who's a better drummer than him? Richard, you know something about drumming. You were like voted the best drummer in the world by some metal magazine, weren't you?
One of the top 5 metal drummers ever.
Are you in agreement that John Bonzo Bonham was the greatest drummer that ever lived?
Yes, but I would put Neil Peart right next to him.
You mean of Rush?
Yep.
Great drummer, but come on. Who's more iconic? Bonzo.
That's
What?
a good argument. I don't know.
Get off my show. How dare you? Come in here,
hey,
you.
Tom Sawyer drum solo is iconic.
Go ahead, Joe in New Jersey.
I think you should call Lars, who was on last week. I think he's got a true opinion on this one.
Lars would say without thinking that John Bonzo Bonham was the number one drummer of all time.
Nah, Neil Peart.
How much you want to bet?
I'll bet you $100.
Get Lars on the phone immediately, Gary.
I don't think I could get him on immediately, but I probably could get an answer by tomorrow.
I'm betting that Lars will say John Bonzo Bonham.
And then if Lars says it's Neil, then you'll give him $100.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. Joe is on the phone, Lars, who had the balls to call me up and argue with me about John Bonzo Bonham's drums. He says Neil Peart is better. It's a blah, 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 blah. Lars is the expert. Let's find out what Lars thinks.
it's fucking hard. Listen, I've been asked that question on and off for 40 years.
Our two choices for greatest drummer, which is Bonzo Bonham and Neil Peart. I mean, you got Ginger Baker, you've got Keith Moon. You're talking about a lot of different people.
I would put 2 additional names on that list. Deep Purple's Ian Pace is an incredibly technically gifted drummer, and Phil Rudd is what gives AC/DC that incredible bounce and swing.
This was the point I was making about Bonzo Bonham yesterday. There was a soul to this guy's drumming.
You mentioned when the levee breaks. I mean, that's classic Bonham. The drums are big, thunderous, ambient. He's a little bit behind on the snare. And it's got that groove, and he's in a pocket.
I like where you're going with your whole build-up. I think I know where we're getting.
I still don't know where he's coming down in all this.
Yeah.
Maybe we want to hear your opinion of Neil.
The first time I ever met Neil, it was 1984. Our manager, Cliff, signed Rush, and I had drum questions about gear and this and that, and he goes, Neil loves to talk to younger drummers. He goes, call Neil, he wants to hear from you. And it was like, huh? I was 20 years old with not a pot to piss in. And I called him and we spoke 30, 45 minutes on the phone and we're geeking out on drums. And the whole thing was like a fairy tale. You can't play drums and not love Neil. And you can't not be appreciative and respectful. But listen, no, I mean,
dangerous territory.
I mean,
So
I didn't know Lars was getting drum lessons from Neil Peart on the phone. I mean, Jesus Christ, who could have
Talk
predicted
about
that?
love. I'm watching him talk about Neil. I'm like, he's in love.
Yeah, shit, there goes my $100.
This is why we had to get him on the phone, Howard.
Wait
so
a
if
second.
this is the big, is there a drum roll
Can we have a drum roll?
between Neil and between John? No disrespect, but I'll have to go with John Bonham.
I knew it. I knew it, Joe. Joe, you give that $100 to my charity.